So, according to my audience analysis conducted on October 31st, I'd asked my audience about their interest in learning about the Eau Claire Hmong New Year. On a scale of 1 through 5, 2 chose 1, 5 chose 3, 7 chose 4, and 8 chose 5. The Hmong New Year is a great way to celebrate and welcome the upcoming New Year. Every year I would attend the Hmong New Year, and will be attending one this weekend. So today I would like to share with you guys what Hmong New Year is, how it is celebrated, and where you can attend the Hmong New Year in Eau Claire. First, I'll explain to you guys what Hmong New Year is. So in my audience analysis, I also asked another question about what my audience knew about the Hmong New Year. As a result, I saw that the majority did not know anything about Hmong New Year, which is probably a good thing. So therefore, I will talk a little bit about what Hmong New Year is so you guys can understand what it's about. So according to Gary Ye Lee and Nicholas Tapp, author of the book Culture and Customs of the Hmong, published in 2010, this source is outdated. However, most of its information is still relevant and credible to my research. So they stated that Hmong New Year is often just known as No Beikyo, or eating the 30th, because it takes place from the 30th day of the 12th lunar month. So the purpose of the Hmong New Year is to take a break from farm work and celebrate the harvest season and hard work. It also allows people to take the time to socialize, meet new people, go out on dates, gather around with family, and pay respects to the ancestors. It is also typically lasting between 10 days to 1 month. There is also no exact date for the Hmong New Year. The date is set up by a group of elderly men, which is done by meeting up with different leaders from different towns or villages, and this purpose allows other people from different villages to attend other New Years around the city or the country we live in. The day is also affected by climate. So, for example, if you lived in California where climate is good during December, it may take place in large public parks. While, if we live in Minnesota or Wisconsin where it's always snowing, it's always held in large community centers. So according to Daning Pao Zhang, author of the news article Hmong New Year, celebrates the old and new of Volume 1, published on November 14, 2016, stated that the changing seasons, particularly winter, makes it difficult for people to travel during the month of December. Therefore, the date of the celebration is usually moved to October or November to allow for safe travels and somewhat tolerable weather conditions to the attendees. Next, there are many ways in which Hmong New Year is celebrated. So the first way that Hmong New Year is celebrated is games. The most common game that is seen at Hmong New Year is called ball, which is ball tossing, in which young couples stand across from one another and toss basically cloth balls to one another. And the idea of this game is basically if one of the partners drop the ball, he or she must either sing a traditional song or promise to give back to the other individual at a different time. This traditional singing encourages men and women from different clans or villages to sing while they play during the ball game. It's also a way for young couples to be interested and basically occupied with the game. Singing could be competitive and last for many days, in which draws a big audience when singers are good. And the promise when I mentioned earlier would involve some sort of ornament such as a handkerchief or a pin. There's also kid games played at the New Year. According to the previous mentioned book, Culture and Customs of the Hmong by Gary Lee and Nicholas Tapp, it stated that some games played by village children include playing with rubbles, making a path in the village dust, playing like role-playing parents, having spoon shaman trances, a guessing game, and storytelling. They also mentioned that these games take place at various times of the year, not necessarily only at the New Year's, but are performed with particular intensity and enjoyment at this time. There also is a large entertainment, such as singing, dancing, comedy acts, band music, stage shows, and more. And these performances also can be for competition as well, such as singing, dancing, beauty pageants, ball tossing, and more, in which you can win awesome cash prizes. There are also other activities such as bullfights, which is not commonly seen in America, which attracts large crowds at the New Year. It's also known to be a symbol of wealth for the Hmong people in their society and is still practiced in Laos and Vietnam. There's also other activities such as horse racing, martial arts, chicken fighting, and crossbow contests. There's also a time when the Hmong people pay respects and honoring their ancestors and spirits. By doing so, the first process is paying respects to the Sika, which is known as the household fortune deity, in which they renew the altar with basically new gold and silver money paper, which is known as jas paper. By doing this, it's a way of basically bring good harvest and money, which will come to the family, and which a live rooster is sacrificed and cooked with incense and spirit paper burned for the altar. And the second process is Laida, which is known as food offering for the ancestors, which ancestors up to 3 generations are invited to join the New Year, and alcohol, rice, and chicken meat are offered to them in separate bowls. And then lastly, the third process is paying respect to household spirits, in which household spirits are offered spirit money and incense, in which the purpose is to protect and watch over the family house throughout the New Year. So next I want to tell you guys where you can attend a local New Year celebration. So this weekend will be the Eau Claire Hmong New Year, which will be held in the Indoor Sports Center. If you guys want to, you guys can write down that address if you guys want to attend. Admission is $4. It's free for children under 5 and seniors over 65. There's also an evening entertainment. So to conclude my speech, the Hmong New Year is a way of celebrating and welcoming the upcoming New Year. I have stated 3 main points, which was what the Hmong New Year is, how it is celebrated, and where you can attend a Hmong New Year in Eau Claire. So after informing everyone about this event, I hope that you guys can take your time off this weekend to come join us during the celebration.